story happened a long time ago, way back when the animals could still talk around these parts.
Shortly after we started here, we had a little boy with Down syndrome standing in the doorway, and there's two little girls reading, and they were just about finished. And I looked up, I said, would you like to come and say hi to Casey? And his eyes got big, and he came in, and him and Casey interacted for a half hour, and I never said anything to Casey. That was the first time I got paid. I'm like, this is why I do this. This is so cool.
Treat.
I'm a police sergeant for almost 25 years.
Treat.
They had a program here, and they asked if I would be willing to come here. And I was the only dog at the time, handler with the dog, and now we have 5 dogs. The 5 wonderful dogs. Casey, he's the longest one. And there's Bailey, who's a lab, I believe he's a lab coonhound mix, so he's kind of an interesting dog. He's on the opposite Mondays as us. There's Jade, which is a standard poodle, black. Ruby, who is a pit bull, who's a star in her own right. She's a wonderful dog, and she's the epitome of the breed and not the exception. And then there's Wilma, who's a Saint Bernard. We train at Total Recall, and technically a dog doesn't need to have training to take the test to be certified, but they recommend they have actually a 7-week therapy dog class, which introduces the dogs to people who just don't act right, act a little strange. And so they get used to about stranger behavior or different things that they're not used to. We train like every other week just to keep up in the obedience and stuff.
Todd's parents were grateful.
I bring my children here to read to the dog because a dog doesn't judge on how children read. And they feel real comfortable with the dog laying down with them. And it's just easy for them to read. They love to read out loud because of it.
It's kind of a strange concept, read to a dog, but the dog isn't going to judge you if you miss a word. He's just going to be here. He immediately knows what to do with the kids. Some kids, if they're a higher level of energy themselves, he has a tendency to be a little spunkier. If the kid's, more settled and reading to him, he'll go to sleep. He'll lay down and go to sleep.
I like reading to Casey because I feel comfortable reading with her, and I just like to read with her. Whose feathers are not green?
I get to see the little miracles happen. The kids who have not so strong readers turn into better readers. It brings some of the kids out of the shell. I had a little girl last fall who was terrified of dogs, and her mom said she usually trembled when she was near a dog. And within a half hour, she was fed Casey.